What's going on, y'all? Back again here, Sunday, June 16th. I was sitting here watching the show with my daughter on Netflix, and it kind of got a little homoerotic in it. There's these two characters on there on this cartoon movie called Nimona. Already sounds a little erotic. Nimona definitely sounds a little erotic. But these two characters, these guys are in this scene where they're at a bar and they're meeting each other, and one guy starts to hold the other guy's hand. He's put on the table, telling him like, "Hey, I'm with you. Like, I understand." They're holding hands just like that. And the first I thought was like, "Yeah, these guys are brothers or like real good friends." But then they were holding each other's hands for a little too long. Then they stopped, and then the guy did it again. Put his hand on his hand, and I'm like, "Yeah, this is getting kind of homoerotic." I'm sitting here watching with my daughter, getting a little uncomfortable. So I'm sitting here just looking like, how many times? My first thought is, how many times has she watched this movie? How many times has she watched this movie? So I'm having a conversation with her about it. And she starts to tell me that there's other shows on Netflix that they watch are like this. And I'm sitting here just thinking, like, why are y'all putting this in the show? How does this even make any sense? How is this correlating? So I started asking my daughter simple questions. Hey, Kai, have you seen any of the boys do this stuff that you've seen around the neighborhood, do this behavior? Any of them? Her answer was no, never have. Have you ever seen any of the boys kiss? Nope, never have. Seen them hold hands, anything? Nope, never have. What about any of the girls in the neighborhood? Have you ever seen any of the girls in the neighborhood do that either? Nope, never have. How about anybody you went to school with? Do you see any of the boys doing that there? She thinks. Nope, she doesn't. How about kids at daycare? Anything? Nope. How about the kids who are younger than your little sister? Her little sister's 7 years old. Nope, never have seen it. So my first conclusion was, then why are they showing you this in Netflix? How does that even make any sense? Why are they doing that? How does that make any sense? If everything you just told me, you've never seen this anywhere, but you see this in a kid's cartoon, how is that making any sense at all? That is being broadcasted in that kind of way. That doesn't make any sense at all. So the confusion is this why is this being put in our cartoons when we haven't even seen this? And I started talking to my daughter about Y2K. This was a great way to sit there and kind of make her understand why what they're putting in this doesn't make any sense. Because if we have grown adults during the year 2000, on January 1st, 2000, sitting here thinking the world was going to end. How about this? December 31st, 2000, they thought the world was going to end the next day at midnight. They thought everything was going to crash. They thought everything was going to go to shits. So why are we sitting there shoving this nonsense down our kids' throats? Why are they doing that? And the movie's rated PG. Yeah, it's PG, it's parent guardian because it's not because of the action in the movie, it's because of the homoerotic scenes in the movie. Which is just getting kind of strange out there. And yeah, some kids may not pay attention to it, but then there's some kids who come to you with that stuff like, hey, I think this is the way I'm feeling. And it's because they're being taught this nonsense. It was crazy. It was absolutely nuts. So she's been talking to me about that because it's just her friends. And the more I hear about what her friends, it's funny because my oldest even said one time, like, yeah, I think I'm kind of into girls and boys. I haven't seen her date a girl a day in my life. All she's dated was boys. And that's really where her came to me because her friends said the same thing when they were young. It was probably when they were like 11 years old. And it's funny because boys don't really go through this. They don't. Boys don't really go through this, but it's definitely easier with females. Boys don't really go through that much. Like, it may be one or two that you might sit there and run into, like, throughout the 10 years of your life of growing up as a kid, but it's really not something that boys do. We're more running around. We're just trying to have a good time until that age. Most kids are just trying to have a good time, just trying to run around, live free. Not thinking about dating anybody. Certain areas, but even in certain areas, it's mainly they're trying to date girls. They're running around and trying to sit there and find stuff in the woods that's hiding behind trees. They're setting up missions and stuff like that. That's all my son does. They're setting up missions. But When it's time for TV time, they're being taught love and all this other stuff, which is cool. If you want to sit there and do that in some things, that's cool, but you don't have to do it in all of them. And when I sit there and say that, you don't have to teach them. I'm talking about love. I mean, loving one another. We don't need to be sitting there trying to teach them our preferences. I don't know what the hell is going on with this shit, but however you guys feel, let me know. I mean, because this is getting kind of out of hand. And if you have any other movies that you had any other movies, leave it in the comments because I'm not sure what is going on with this nonsense. It seems like absolute nonsense to me. I'm watching a movie that's making me uncomfortable with my daughter because it's just like I have to explain to her this stuff. That's something I shouldn't even have to explain because she's not even thinking about that until she starts to see it more and more on her shows, and then she starts to sit there and think it's the way to go, when it's not. It's not the way to go. The way to go, you will know when you get older, or you will even know already. You will already have known the way to go, whatever you like. But at the same time, when you're showing them different views, like it can be this and it can be this, then you're just sitting there just making them try things that they don't need to experiment. It's almost like trying to sit there and show kids different snacks, and of course they're going on trial.